One fine afternoon, mid-October, October 16th to be precise, 2009, set out for the Willacy Detention Center in Raymondville. Ever since the prison complex had initiated on the eastern side of the expressway, I had watched it grow and expand. First, the state jail, what was sold as a minimum security that quietly became medium, and I'm sure has progressed beyond that today. But back then, I didn't place too much attention to social issues, taking the what can little old me, just an average guy on the southern border and the edge of the United States do kind of attitude. But from the get-go, I had a queasy, gnawing feeling about what was going on. The talk of the town was about all the money and economic development and jobs that would come from putting thousands of people in jail for good reasons, or dubious reasons, doubtful reasons, or no reason at all, except lucre, possibly filthy lucre, as if there is any other. The historical record on private prisons is not that great. You can do the research just like I can. Some say it's another face of slavery. You can check out the site texasprisonbidness.org or infowars.com, or for that matter, anything related to the drug war. There's a very intimate connection here. Also on the other side, there's the government story, which can be very informative if you dig. There's the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the U.S. Department of Corrections, Homeland Security, and search for private prisons on the internet. The names have changed quite a bit. The corporate names have changed. But the investors and the backers are pretty much the same. They reach high in both finance and politics. I'm talking about Vice President on down, really. The ACLU, the Southwest Workers Union, Grassroots Leadership, Coalition of Amigos in Solidarity in Action, or CASA, were all part of the demonstration at the prison complex. There was a demographic cross-section of protesters, mostly students and younger folk, but also older liberal church groups. I recall Methodists for one, maybe a Quaker, maybe not. A few guys with Old Testament prophet beards and other countercultural once-wases from the 60s and 70s. Curiously enough, not much in between. There were very few people in their 30s and 40s. I guess that they're part of the me generation or something. A lot of people from Houston and Austin, out-of-towners. The young lady with the megaphone got things going off eventually to the detention center, about a mile away from where we were encamped. Before we left, the attendees shared stories of the abuses and injustices going on inside to the mostly Central Americans, but other aliens as well. Some of the politics behind it all and their own personal reasons for participating. The detention center is about a mile away from where the march began, and the huge Kevlar circus-type tents are coming up on the right. Chanting, "Hey-ho, CCA," that's Corrections Corporation of America, has got to go. Another chance, they pass the detention center tents on the right, go on past the Willacy County Jail on the left, and arrive at the gates of the ICE Detention Center. You can see the picnic tables where families wait to see the detainees. See the sign as well. The ABC, CBS, NBC local media had all covered the beginning of the protest, done interviews with their "I'm totally focused on what you're saying, but I don't necessarily believe a word, and am non-committal and neutral about what you're doing" TV-type journalism faces. Good coverage. I can't fault them on that. They provided a couple minutes on the evening news after editing. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and the tough had already gone. Mainstream media had departed to pick up dry cleaning, get their weekly massage or whatever. When the guns came out at the detention center, it was left totally to alternative media to tell the tale. I think I was the only videographer, and there was a camera guy there as well. The guards looked nonplussed. Taken so far back, they desperately needed somebody in authority to tell them what to think. But a sense of menace had been growing. The pictures tell the tale from here. To quote the classic film Cool Hand Luke, there was a failure to communicate. There was no attempt to talk to the demonstrators. Of course, the demonstrators, as taxpayers, paid the salaries of the guards, albeit indirectly. Also, there's a few First Amendment and Bill of Rights issues here, but threats and intimidation were the order of the day. Brandishing a shotgun and threatening to run over peaceful demonstrators, the anti-tent city crowd retreated behind the gates, and I left after determining no one would probably get shot and no further documentation was needed, not that day. For further investigation, the Valley Morning Star had articles, I believe, October 17th or 18th. Also, you can search for immigration detention centers and FEMA camps. You might check into Willacy County politics as well. The truth here is stranger than fiction, and I wanted to be sure and document this. I hope you've enjoyed it. Just another day at the breach. The machine has ground me to sand, and everywhere I look it's more just the same, no different than what has gone down before. A man holds all the power still, but his power added, multiplied, and spun still amounts to none. All the studying in the world can never make a difference now. Who taught who and who was taught when? And all I know is it goes on and on and on, this silly game that has no end. Boss, you're only on top just a little bitty while. Top, middle, tangled like a knot, then buried beneath the pile. You say that okay. Got to crush 'em while there's still time. Protesters make known their displeasures, and the hirelings minion to the man brandish weapons like long black teeth, insinuating devastation to the unarmed band. And one day they will more than threaten. Maybe. Someday soon.